like seeing new places because I've never been here before. But I just really like being surrounded by like other people around my age, and we're all jumping and celebrating and singing along, and it's just so much fun.
My favorite part of convention was probably just all the people that I got to meet, all the food that I ate, and just the general environment. I think that having it on campus was really nice because it kind of felt like we were just like at college, and it was kind of like a nice little peek into what college life would be like, and then just spending time with friends and everything.
I don't know if I have a favorite part of convention, but a few things I liked. I liked hanging out with other groups and the bus ride up here, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow at the Art Encounter. So we'll see what that brings.
I liked about the convention was worshiping with others.
I liked that I was able to connect with worshipers and people like me.
I liked doing stuff with my friends.
I got to meet a lot of new people that I otherwise would not have met.
I think the thing I enjoyed most was getting to know the members of my youth group better and building a better bond.
My favorite part about the convention is the 9 square in the air.
I like being surrounded by a bunch of Christians because you're not judged by them very much and they all believe the same thing.
I liked hanging out with my friends.
Getting to be with other Christians. My favorite part of Elevate is the sessions and the singing and the music.
I liked playing 9 square and meeting new people.
I like being able to worship and celebrate with other believers, and I like being able to learn the messages that they speak.
I like meeting a bunch of new people and seeing other churches.
Probably the worship, because it was just really fun to have everyone around you also believing what you believe and praising Him.
My favorite part being here at the convention is I get to see a lot of new people that I usually would never get to see, people from a lot of different states.
So they have these breakout sessions, which are basically miniature Bible classes. And I went to several, and I learned ways to cope with grief. I learned about what to kind of keep an eye out for when you're thinking about dating and then eventually marriage, and just a bunch of things like that.
One of the main things that I learned at convention is just the scale of God. I feel like a lot of times we learned this in a session that we attended, but a lot of times we tend to put God into a box, oh, he can do this and he can do this, but oh, this might be too great. Unknowingly we tend to limit him, and I think the main point of this convention was for us to realize there truly are no limits to what God can do in our lives.
One thing I learned at this convention is that we don't know, and we don't know everything that God has in store for us, and that's okay, because God gives us purpose in the Bible, and things that we can do without locking in a plan for life, or these are the steps, or there's only one path for your life, and that was very reassuring.
I learned at convention how to read the Bible more deeply.
I learned that Jesus heals everyone, even if your rose is broken, if He wants it.
I learned that whenever you have a question, to go to the Bible.
I learned a lot about how God works through people and works through you when you don't even know it.
I think this week it was a good reminder that in spite of the world having so many different distractions and voices and opinions, that we need to focus on God's voice, because His is the only one that matters.
I learned how to use AI without becoming an NPC.
I learned not to rush into relationships and just let God do what He wants to do in your life.
To always do the right thing even if no one's watching, because God always is.
I've learned that the Bible is always right, no matter what other people say. I have learned to not hide my faith ever since I got to Elevate.
I was reminded of how Jesus loves me.
I have learned how much Jesus still loves me and wishes that I be with him, and also how his care for me and for everyone, it's just immeasurable.
Through one of our breakout sessions, I learned about how other people in other countries get the message of God.
I learned that since Jesus died for me, I'm free to be free.
Something that I've learned here at the convention is that the Bible always wins. Like, for example, if somebody says something different about the Bible, then the Bible is always right. So the Bible wins. And even if an angel says something different than the Bible still wins.
I was struggling to look me in the eye. Felt like a failure, couldn't change it if I tried. Would start the day with fear and keep it through the night. No matter what I did, just couldn't make it right. That was me till I met you. So I'm still getting bye, bye, bye. Oh, goodbye to my hotel. I left you in the rear view, it's the best I ever felt. No more lies, I found truth in someone else. 'Cause Jesus saved my life and that's the story that I'll tell. So bye-bye. So long, farewell. Bye-bye. So long, farewell. Oh, bye-bye. So long, farewell. Bye-bye. 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 No more lies, I found truth in someone else. 'Cause Jesus saved my life and that's the story that I'll tell.